The thing about Tai Chi Easy is just that. It's simple. And it's so simple that everybody can do it. It takes what traditionally have been long, complicated forms, typically around 108 movements, and it stays true to the principles of those movements, but it shortens it down to just a few. And that makes it a manageable piece. People do it and they start to feel success, and that makes them want to keep doing it. My name is Michael Clark, and for the last 4 years I've been teaching Tai Chi and Qigong in Asheville, North Carolina. And I've gone to China 4 times to study Qigong. I've studied with many different masters and teachers. But the person who's had the biggest impact on me as a teacher has been Roger Yonka. And I think the biggest impact his approach has made on me is in simplifying things for students and giving them permission to adapt it to their body. So not holding to a rigid lineage and difficulties which can throw a lot of people off. I have people, after doing the practice, people tell me lots of different things. Typical things might be, well, I had knee pain when we began and it's not hurting anymore, or I had a headache and it went away. And I think that is a combination of the movement, breath, mind, that sort of integral practice leads to that. But I would say one of the main things people say is, you break it down into simple pieces, and I can do that. And if we can get more and more people to say, I can do that, and then we've given them a lifelong practice that they're not going to put on the shelf, but they're going to use every day. I'm a great fan of all forms of conscious movement. Anything that we can do to get people up off the couch and moving around is a good thing. And then if we can add the next step of integrating their mind into that process so it becomes meditative, then we've done a better thing. And the world can benefit from this in many ways. First, on a personal healing level, and then it's just a natural law that once you start to feel good inside, you radiate that naturally out. Other people pick up on it. They're like, hey, that's a person that's good to be around, or I like it when I'm in the room with that person. And it just sort of spreads out in a big wave from there. So it can be our way of healing ourselves as individuals, and helping heal the world in the larger sense. One thing I would add to that is it can have greater and greater reach the more it becomes institutionalized. So the more we start to see this taken up by schools and other kinds of health care institutions, hospitals, senior centers, and in a program that can be simple and replicated all over the country, that's where it's going to have the greatest impact. I'm thankful for it for the personal impact it has, but I know that with a few smart steps, we can make this a nationwide practice and a worldwide practice.
There's tremendous health benefits to Tai Chi, but how to get these health benefits to people is a good question, and it's best to try and do it in a very simplified way so that people get the health benefits without having to spend a tremendous amount of time figuring out how to do that. Tom Rogers, Vice President of the Qigong Institute, and I live in practice in California. I've taken a lot of beginning Tai Chi classes. Like, I do a lot of forms myself, but then I find it very interesting to go back and take the beginning class over and over again, because you can always learn something. So I see large numbers of people who are interested in Tai Chi coming into these classes. However, only a few of these people are left at the end of the class, you know, and it turns out that Tai Chi is hard to learn for a lot of people. Some of the forms are actually hard for people to do physically, and that's why a simplified form is easier for people to learn and practice. Also, individually, people would be a lot more physically active, a lot more physically healthy, and there's a large number of problems that we see. We see the imploding healthcare system, and people need to understand they can take responsibility for their own healthcare, and this is a way to do it. So it's really self-initiated healthcare, and that way people can grow old gracefully, which is something that I'm certainly interested in, and I think a lot of other people are too.
Well, Tai Chi Easy really makes Tai Chi accessible to populations that either don't have the cognitive ability or physical abilities to do a longer form of Tai Chi. And so it really makes the benefits, the health benefits of Tai Chi available to those populations. And I think it's also a nice way for adults or teens as well to get exposure to Tai Chi and to Qigong, and then if they want to then take it into a more complicated form, they can, or if they want to just stay with this, they can get wonderful health benefits, and it fits into a very short amount of time. You can make it as long or as short as you want, doing more or less repetitions.